Welcome, everybody, to another edition of Everyday Health Hacker Podcast. I'm Mike Herzing, along with the awesome Dr. Lisa Liao.
Hello, how are you today?
I am awesome. Dr. Liao, folks, is Chief Medical Officer right here at Meridian Health Institute in Sugar Land, Texas. As I always say, where everybody wants to be. Pecan groves everywhere. It's a beautiful place.
It's beautiful here. It's
beautiful. Really is. But unfortunately, we're having a hot summer. We haven't got to the hurricane season yet. We're heading there. But Heatstroke, heat exhaustion, we talked about that in our last live broadcast. And it's bad.
Yes, it is bad. You know, the heat index is over 100. You know, I believe Arizona showed 115 yesterday. They've got a dry heat,
right.
Very hot. Here, it's very humid. You almost feel like you're suffocating. It's kind of the difference between a wet sauna and a dry sauna. Whether you're in Arizona or Texas, you know, here in the South, I'm sure Florida is the same way.
Sure.
And, you know, a lot of people have been asking, gosh, doc, you know, I just feel exhausted and tired. I just don't feel right. So you start talking to them and you realize that they have some mild symptoms of heat exhaustion, which, if not taken care of quickly, can really go into heat stroke, which is very dangerous and can cause a hospitalization. And nobody wants to be in the hospital for anything.
Okay, questions. I used to work out in the shop and everything. I was in the heat every day. I was used to it.
Yes.
And when I was a kid, I grew up right here in Houston,
right?
And attic fans and things like that. We didn't have AC until I got older.
There wasn't AC until later.
Okay, and so I went to elementary school. They had no AC, just fans. I was used to it.
Right.
Now, is that going to make any difference to somebody? If you've got somebody who works outside, you've got somebody who works in an office, but they're out there boating or they're doing whatever. Weekend warriors are bicycling, things like that. They're starting to feel a little funny. They feel faint. They think, that is one person going to be an advantage to the other, or is it more like health?
If more than anything, everybody has their own set of symptoms. And that's why I want to go over the cautions, whether you're working in a warehouse. I had a gentleman today, and he's warehouse supervisor, and he's like, I'm sharing with everybody, be sure that you hydrate every hour, go on inside, cool off for a few minutes, then come back out into the warehouse. And I shared with him, I said, now you're the leader, so you have to be the good example of it. So they need to see you drinking water. They need to see you taking the breaks just like them so that nobody overheats. Because, it's dangerous in what they're doing. They're working with large equipment, driving large equipment with tons of pallets that are coming in off the railway. So it's very dangerous. And then you have people that they might work in the office. They go outside to their car, and it's 115 degrees in their car, and they hadn't drank a lot of water, and before their car can even cool down, they're hot, they're not feeling good, they're feeling clammy, maybe a little bit of headache, nausea. That's heat exhaustion. Okay. So it can affect people very quickly or very slowly. You have to watch for your symptoms, and let's just kind of go over heat exhaustion symptoms, just so that we know them. And these are the top 5. That's feeling faint or dizzy. You might be excessively sweating more than you're used to. You're feeling pale. You might have, your skin may feel very clammy. You may feel nauseous. You might even throw up. Some people will feel their pulse to say, I'm not feeling good, I'm going to check my pulse, but they can't find it. Doesn't mean that it's not there, it's just very weak, which means the body is trying to get the fluids up and is working, but you just don't have enough fluid in order for your body to naturally cool itself down. And then sometimes it's just a Charlie horse that you can have as a symptom that your electrolytes are off. And most all of us know what a Charlie horse is, and what do we usually do? We grab pickle juice, magnesium, potassium to try to solve that. The same thing happens when we're going through heat exhaustion, is that we're losing these electrolytes, and that loss of electrolytes is causing these symptoms. And we have to be ahead of it, which means drink water with electrolytes, drink a Powerade, a Gatorade Zero, anything that doesn't have a lot of sugar. You're just trying to get your potassium, your sodium, all of your electrolytes balanced so that it can mitigate these types of symptoms. Because on the flip side of that, if you're not ahead of it, then heat stroke can happen. And when heat stroke happens, usually that person is down on the ground. They have a throbbing headache. They're not sweating anymore. And because they're not sweating, that body temperature has elevated and they're not being able to decrease it. They might also have gotten nauseous. They might have vomited. So all of these things are happening. And the difference physiologically with those individuals is that their pulse is now very rapid and you can actually feel it beating very hard. So there's some physiological differences as well as symptoms that are very different between those. And usually with heat stroke, that person is going to have lost consciousness. So very different, very similar. The key is stay hydrated, monitor yourself, monitor your friends, monitor your fur children, your dogs, your cats. They can also suffer from these as well.
Sure.
And need to stay hydrated.
Absolutely. And we always talk about don't take them out on the... You ever walked out on the beach with no shoes on?
No, we don't.
Burn your feet.
So don't do
things
that
like
to your fur children.
That's what you're doing to your dog or cat when they're
Right.
out there running. Of course, nobody walks their cats. Cats are too smart for that.
I've seen a few cats walked with harnesses in the neighborhood, though.
But you're right. But so basically, heat exhaustion, if you don't take care of it, it's going to be heat stroke, and that's going to be hospital time.
Right. And that's something that's very serious. A lot of people will just say, I just don't feel right. I'm just super tired. Well, you have started the symptoms of heat exhaustion, which means you need to get into a cool area. You need to rest. Mm-hmm. If a cool area is not available, find a fan, get into the shade, get your hydration. Yeah. If you need to turn on the car, remember the car's really hot, you stand in the shade, roll the windows down, get the air conditioner started so the heat can escape. A lot of people, the heat is so much, but the heat has to escape from the car to have that exchange of cool air and then get into the car. Don't put your pets in there when it's real hot too.
Yeah.
Cool off the car.
Yeah.
So, and again, watch your car because there are people that are wanting to take advantage of trying to steal your car. So you have to be alert when you're doing that. Granted, even if you're at your home, we always encourage you, if you're turning on your car and you're not in the car, be alert and be aware. So it's safety all around for you physiologically, get the water in, stay cool, and also watch for your possessions because people can take advantage because you're not feeling good.
As
so
always,
at the beach or at the lake.
As always, if you have questions, info@everydayhealthhacker.com. I'm going to throw that in there. All right, let's go back. What happens if they're having, maybe had a few beers, maybe a few margaritas, something like that? It's going to exacerbate everything a little bit.
Correct. You're actually going to dehydrate a lot faster because the alcohol is taking over. And that's where you can get alcohol poisoning because your body's not able to exchange the nutrients that it needs and is not able to get rid of the alcohol quick enough because your kidneys and your liver, they're dry.
Yeah,
basically.
they need liquid.
They
and that's
need
not
some
the
liquid
one,
to pass it through.
Need.
That's not the one they need.
Okay, what about, I've seen people that were, they had fun of it. They win the football game and the coach is hot and he's sweaty and everything and he's really had close heat and they dump the ice water on him.
Right.
And he has a heart attack. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And it shocks the system.
Yes.
That's not good either, is it?
It's not good to shock the system. We always encourage to slowly cool off. Granted, I always share with people when they find somebody, let's say the coach was passed out, I think the whole team is going to put everything cool on that coach to get them to do well and better with the coolness. So, again, you do with what you have. Yes, it's a shock to the system, probably not the best way to cool down, but it is a way to cool down.
All right. We're going to run out of time here, but real quick, sunburn.
Sunburn.
We all get it. It's, unless you slather down with everything like
yes.
Folks,
reapply.
I can tell you, my dermatologist sees me every 3 months, and she's...
Yes, because you're very light.
Because
you have blue eyes.
I used to have, I'm out in the sun a lot and things like that, and so now I'm paying for it.
And now we have the SPF shirts that we can use that are long sleeve that are very cool. You're wearing one now. So if you've never had one of those, I encourage you guys, go to your favorite sports store. They have them, order them online, whatever it takes, because that really is going to help you to keep cool because they're vented and it really helps the heat exchange with your body and the ambient air. Number 2 is that it's protecting you from the sun. If you are in the water and you have your sun shirt, it actually keeps you cooler for a longer amount of time too. So lots of things that we didn't have, 20 and 30 years ago. So these are all awesome things. There's also the little cool handkerchiefs that you can get wet and put around your neck. Those are great for people who are, whether you're working outside or you're just going to be, on the boat or out at the lake or the beach, consider those types of things. And there's personal little fans that have little water misters. do whatever it takes. It's not an expensive way to have prevention.
The lower the humidity, the better they work.
Yes.
Also, all right, now, people don't think about this when you're driving a lot. My dermatologist tells me all the people that have the ear problems on their ears, the
Usually
sides
on
of
the
their
left
face,
side, 'cause
their
they're
left
driving.
side, because they're driving all the time. If you're going to go on a long drive and you don't have the right window tint, and regular window tint, they're just coming out with some ceramic stuff that will cut down UVs. But UV rays still come through.
Right.
It's the greenhouse effect. You're going to have to wear sunscreen if you're driving in your car.
We do that every day. I mean, we've always lived here in
Sure.
Southeast Texas. So, as women, it's easy because, most of your lotions and your sunscreens are usually part of the products that you're utilizing. And for men, I also encourage them to use sunscreen. And if you don't like it, there's wonderful sprays that you can
Yes,
use.
they work
And
great.
before we walk out of the house, it's right there on the walkout area. We spray our arms so that we can protect ourselves for the future. So, and I encourage everybody else to do it. Get whether you do lotion or you do a spray, have it right there by the door so that it can remind you as you're walking out to put that on and reapply throughout the day.
Even Skintastic, they've on it. It works, and
Yes.
it's even a bug spray. Too,
Yes.
works for that. Also, now if we do get sunburn, here in Texas, we use aloe vera.
Yes.
We grow it everywhere. It grows great. It's a cactus of some sort.
And
Cut
it
it
works.
open.
It works. A lot of my patients will use Aloe Cure. They can find that on
right.
everydayhealthhacker.com. And one of the other things is that if that sunburn burns and it hurts, call your doctor. There are prescription medications that we can send in. And, with the technology that we have with e-scripts, telephone, video conferencing, we can take care of you during that weekend. So don't wait, because that skin needs to be taken care of very quickly, because you can have a second and third degree burn. I hope that you don't. I hope that you
Easily.
can avoid that. But we have seen that already. So I encourage you, call your doctor so that they can help to advise you.
You can grab that by grabbing your steering wheel. It's 180 degrees
There
or
you
more
go.
on a hot day. That's why you put the little goofy,
Sheepskin
silver
over it.
sheens, silver deals across the windshield. If you buy at Walmart, that'll drop the temperature in your car about 40 degrees.
It really works.
On a hot day. All right,
Absolutely.
folks. We're running out of time. If you got a topic you want us to tackle, info at Everyday Health Hacker, I promise.
Yes.
Dr. Liao will take care of it. And as always, on behalf of all the folks here at Meridian Health Institute, Dr. Liao, myself, want to say thanks for tuning in. We hope you subscribe. We hope you check us out again, and we really appreciate it.
Absolutely. And we hope that you'll share this video and help keep your friends and family safe too. So avoid those summer hazards and tune in for more information with Everyday Health Hacker. Have a blessed day.
You bet. See ya.